Hello and good day. So, I was reading Haley Pham's book this morning. I made I made some oatmeal and I read 2 pages of Haley Pham's book, Just Friends. In 2 pages, I was astounded by the amount of notes that I took on the writing. So, I was just thinking, if the book looks like that, if the book is what it is, and with so many, I don't know if I can call them errors necessarily, because they're not grammatical errors, it's just errors in the way that it gets read. There's a specific word for it that I'm not aware of at this moment, but I'm gonna put it on the screen. Basically, I feel like it just does not read right. I'm gonna also leave on the screen some passages that I'm talking about. Feel free to stop at any moment and read those passages. I just feel like it's an opportunity for anyone who wants to become an editor, for example. It's an opportunity to read this book. This book is gold for them because they can write again, rearrange, and discover new ways of saying stuff. Because I feel like Haley Pham, I don't know, I don't want to be mean. I really don't want to be mean. And I really don't want myself one day to put out a book and for it to be worse than Just Friends. Don't get me wrong, I'm only 3 pages into this book. Imagine the arrogance that I come to you with right now. But all I'm saying is that you read so many books, so many books, and yet you write like that. And imagine this isn't the first draft that I'm reading right now. By all means, she probably wrote, I don't know, 5 drafts of this book and also had an editor, and everything was supposed to be good, right? And for her it was. But imagine the first draft. If this is the book that we get to read now, if this is the final version, if this is the published version, imagine what the first draft was like. And actually scratch what I said, because the first draft is always kind of horrible for every first time writer. By all means, and it should not stop you from writing at all. All I'm saying is that you should get good editors. Maybe. I don't know. And also read different types of books, because I was talking to my boyfriend about Just Friends this morning, and I was telling him, okay, this morning I read and I took some notes and blah blah blah, and I read him one of the passages from the book, and actually it's the second paragraph of the whole book. So it says something like, the feeling is personified in my stomach right now. And I read him that, and he didn't know what to say because he thought that I liked the passage, so he didn't say anything. But then I said, what is that? And then he felt kind of relieved that I didn't like the passage. It's a horrible way of expressing yourself in a book. Also, there was another passage that I'm just remembering it now. I don't have it in front of me, but there was another passage that said, there's this book that I just finished last night on Kindle, and now I just really want the physical copy of it. It's frivolous, I know. Listen, that's my thoughts 24/7. Okay, but I live in the real world, not in the literary world. And for me to read that, as I was saying before, when I was reading Jeanette McCarthy's Half His Age, she had a lot of I don't know, mentions of, modern things that we do every day, like shop on Shein, or I don't know, she was working at Victoria's Secret, whatever. But just reading that, there's this book that I'm reading on Kindle that I just finished on Kindle, and I just really want a physical copy of it. I think it could be nice for some people to have in a book, but at the same time, it just kind of shows, and I don't know if it's true, and actually I'm sure it's not true. I'm sure she read a lot of classic books, a lot of actual amazing, great, whatever books, and at the end of the day, You don't really discuss tastes that much, right? Like, your taste is your taste in books, my taste is my taste. Whatever, you wrote a book, good for you. But I'm just saying that I can tell her favorite writer is Emily Henry. And by no means do I hate on Haley Pham. I actually kind of like her. I watched 50 States in 50 Days and I was mystified by it. She seems like a great person. But all I'm saying is that maybe one day, I'm just gonna talk about myself, okay? I'm not gonna generalize, I'm not gonna talk about absolutely anybody else, and I'm not gonna give any kind of advice whatsoever. So when I'm gonna write a book, if that's ever gonna happen, I know that I could never write a book without having read at least some of the biggest, most loved books out there. And again, I don't want to be rude in any way. This video is all over the place. I know that, for example, I love Dostoevsky. I love Tolstoy. I love Russian literature in general because I love reading about struggle. And I think that also gives me, for whenever I want to write, I'm sure that will be a theme that I'm going to focus on a lot. So they're kind of my favorite writers. But because some people prefer, romance books a lot more, easy romance books, I mean, because romance can be found in whatever other genre you read. There's also a little piece of romance there. But when you read really easy romance books, you know what? Not even Nora Roberts writes romance that like easy for the reader, or that, I don't know, that easy to digest. I think she has more meaning in her stories than what Emily Henry does or has in her stories. But again, I've never read Emily Henry, so I wouldn't know. I don't know, these are just some thoughts that I have on the subject so far. I only read 3 pages. Like, come on. I shouldn't have the right to talk at all. But me in my teenage years, I used to love reading these very contemporary stories where people were talking in texts and they were sending each other messages and that kind of stuff. But I think, you know what, I think more than anything it's a personal preference for each one of us individually. What do you like reading? I like reading about people that send each other letters. I don't really like reading about people that text. It's a personal preference. I'm having a lot of fun taking notes on that book. And more than anything, I'm having a lot of fun eating and taking notes on that book. It's so beautiful. So beautiful. I think I just want to end this video by, congratulating, what was her name? Haley. Congratulating Haley on her book. It's amazing to be able to publish a novel. Well, she's kind of the most famous booktuber, so that's the next step that you take. You know what I'm saying? I think everyone that's really passionate about books has had that thought at least once in their lives to write a book of their own, but a good book. And I think that if you go into this endeavor with half a heart, it just kind of comes out as just friends. I don't know.